What's going on, Soul Fam, and welcome to Mirror D Tarot. I'm Mirror D here today with your full moon in Libra reading for April the 7th of 2020. To all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for your subscription. To all of my old subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. And to all of my new viewers, if you like this video and would like updates on full moon, new moon videos, and also meditations to accompany those tarot and astrology reports, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, please and thank you. All right, so I'm going to get straight into this full moon this time. So we are in a place right now with a Libra full moon where we are releasing and rebalancing our relationships in our life. This mainly points to our romantic relationships and the way we relate to others. So lately what we've probably been going through and experiencing is a lot of breakthroughs and cleansings as far as the relationships go. We've probably had old patterns coming up, been thinking about old relationships and things like that. And it's not because we're holding on to them. It's because we're observing where our lessons are in this. We're coming back with fresh sight in our new growth to see these things and see where we need to grow next. Like, for instance, you might have had a relationship in the past that you've had a lot of anger at, or a relationship that you really felt like, oh man, I missed my chance with that one. But the thing is that life is cyclical. That's the thing that we have to understand, is that things aren't linear. It's not, that chance isn't gone forever. Now, with that specific person, it may or may not be. However, if you look at the way that your life has gone, you've fallen in love once, and then you've fallen in love twice. And as you learn and as you grow, it gets better and better and better. And again, like, the best is yet to come. So it's really time to start to push forward and everything. Pick up those lessons. As you grow, you're going to start to see things from a completely different perspective. So looking back at those old relationships is really important to start to understand, I see what I did then. I understand like where my fear was. And fear, the thing that I've learned about myself personally, and that I feel that the collective is going to learn as well, is that it is not the act of loving that has hurt us. It is the fear of loving that has hurt us. It is the fear of loving to the capacity that we are capable of that has hurt us. It is the rejecting of the love that is being given to us. These games that we've been taught to play in society, like, don't call or text too much, or don't, be this way, or should I do it now? Should I wait 3 days? Like, that is just complete BS, because the thing is that when we do that, we take ourselves away from our soul knowing what our soul's calling is. However, when we're programmed to be that way, we can't help but to think that way, but to second guess ourselves, but to wonder if we're being too annoying, or if we're doing this thing or that thing, or if we're doing it right in general. We have not been brought up in a society that has taught us much about anything, much about love and how to be in a relationship in the real and natural and soul connected way. We haven't learned anything about finances and how that works. We haven't learned anything about how to manifest, how to create the world that we want. We were bred into this world to be separated and to be a part of a machine based on the society that we live in. However, we're coming to a point now where we're getting back to our true nature, to our true heart. So this again is looking at these old situations and allowing yourself to feel through them as well. Like, keep that love there. Keep that heart open. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to pine over and chase after and think about this person on that level, but be grateful that you had the opportunity to love the way that you did. And send the person that you were when you loved that certain person. It doesn't matter how bad or good the situation was. Send yourself love at that moment for being the person who, for being in that situation, because the thing is that we do the best that we can with what we know how now at this moment. And so who you were at that moment, whether it was dating some D-bag, or whether it was like, hanging out with somebody who just wasn't ready, or whether like you were afraid to love, go ahead and give yourself love for that, because you could only do what you knew how to do at that moment, and you're learning and you're growing, and this is when things are going to get better, and then they'll just continue to get better. And that's just how it works. So with these relationships, really pay attention to that. That is what this full moon is bringing a lot of focus to, is just clearing out that old stuff and getting ourselves ready for loving the way that we should love. And first and foremost, loving ourselves the way we want someone else to love us. So that is really, it's going to be so powerful, y'all, especially with Venus, the planet of love here in Gemini. We're going to be learning how to communicate our needs, how to communicate what it is that we want, how to speak up about our needs and not be afraid of rejection. Because what happens when we speak up our needs and that person isn't able to meet them, is not a form of rejection. That is just us learning what does and doesn't work for us. Instead of us like folding into these little boxes, feeling like, oh, well, this person doesn't like that I'm really emotional, so let me fold and break myself down into this box so I'm not that way. No. Find someone who respects that is a part of you. Respect that within yourself. So a lot of times when we're so busy chasing after the idea of love that we put ourselves in these little boxes to fit with something that doesn't match with our vibration. Okay, so we've learned, we're going forward, all that good stuff. Gemini, Venus is all about just communicating and those needs and learning to communicate in relationships, learning to communicate what it is that we want to put out there, how we express ourselves, and then attracting through vibration someone who also respects those things. And then also on the same side, respecting those things about your partner, because a lot of us get into these relationships with an ideal of what somebody should be, and instead of accepting the person for who they are, we idealize them and we try to turn them into this thing and we try to make it work for us. However, we have to really get into the mode of accepting people for who they are and really deciding if that's something that we can deal with in our lives or something that we feel connected to in our lives. That is true love, y'all. That is true love, is being able to look at a person in all their flaws and all of their aspects and say, you know what, I really, really love you. And this is not in the aspect of being like, oh, I can see the person you're going to be in the future, so I'm going to try to change you into that or push you. No, this is looking at somebody right now and just seeing perfection in all that they are in this moment and loving them as y'all grow on your individual paths and together. So we also still have quite a few planets hanging out, not as many in Capricorn. And Capricorn, we still have Pluto and Jupiter hanging out there. And so what we're doing is we're moving, a lot of things are moving into Aquarius now. Saturn is in Aquarius, Mars is in Aquarius. So we're almost toward the end point of breaking down all of the old constructs that have to do with our work. And you can see it right here, right now. This Capricorn energy is so prominent, especially with Pluto there. Pluto, Capricorn, this is a destruction of the old system. Look at where we are right now, y'all. Right now, in this point, we are being weaned off of the old system. And not even, I can't really say weaned, because we done all just been booted off our jobs, y'all. We all been booted off our jobs, forced to stay at home and really focus on what it is that we do. We've been forced to, even though we're social distancing, connect in different ways, not just to ourselves, but to others as well. And this is where the Saturn in Aquarius comes in, because this is our responsibility to the collective, our responsibility to humanity. This is our understanding what we're here to do. This is our being in our purpose. And when we're not chasing the dollar, when we're not on the grind all the time, when we're having time to sit back and hang out with ourselves, we have no choice at this moment but to either find our purpose and live that and start to become that, or fall with the system that's breaking down right now. So we really have to decide which of those are things that we're willing to, that we want to do. This is a sink or swim, everybody. With Mars being in there, with Mars being also in Aquarius, this is our expansion. This is our passions and our aggressions being channeled toward the collective. How are we going to change things? What are we going to put into the world that is of use to not just yourselves, but to everybody? How are we going to make this better? And this doesn't come through force, which is where the gentleness comes with the Mars and Aquarius. It doesn't come through force. This comes through allowing. So our passions and aggressions are moving, but we're not throwing them in people's face. We're not doing things like that. We're more so just allowing them to flow out, and we're allowing ourselves to take that passion and turn it into something that can serve. Okay? So then also with Jupiter still being in Capricorn as well, this is our expansion. These are our hopes and wishes. This is our luck. So this is where our luck is coming in. We're going to, as long as we're moving toward our purpose, as long as we're doing that, we're going to be moving toward, we're going to run into the opportunities that we need to be able to put whatever it is into the world, and stay open, because that may not come in a way that you expect. So really just work on staying open with that, allowing yourself to be in that mode and allowing your passions to flow. All right? Allowing those things to open up. So we are still, again, with Pluto's going to be hanging out in Capricorn for a while. So this old paradigm, this old working 9 to 5 and talking stuff on people who don't work a 9 to 5, this whole thing is leveling out, y'all. This is breaking down, and we're going to be in a much better place, which is going to bring more happiness, because we're all happy when we're working from the heart rather than out of obligation and out of a fear of losing things. When we're working for our basic needs, and that's the only thing we have to survive, we're spending most of this life that we were given here, this gift that we were given here, working for what? to survive, to eat, to have a place to live. These things are provided for us. And we're moving into a paradigm where, yes, sure, these things might still be there. However, we're going to be coming from a place of the heart where our abundance and our reward will be greater because our output and our soul purpose is being fulfilled. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot aspects of this reading. So I'll see y'all in just a second. The tarot portion of this tarot and astrology reading, I did also meant to tell y'all that Mercury is currently hanging out in Pisces. So there's going to be a lot of things that we've said, a lot of things that have been said to us that are coming back around to be cleared out as well. So these are going to be old patterns releasing in the way that we communicate. Again, same thing with Venus and Gemini. It's going to be similar because, well, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and that's just the way it goes. So yeah, just expect a lot of old things. We're in a grand clearing right now. We're going to learn to love like we never have before. So I've got some cards here today, and I'm going to go ahead and read with the Hermetic Tarot today. So I'm going to break out over here, and I'm going to do what the foundation is, what we're releasing, and what we're bringing in. So let's go ahead and give these cards a good old-fashioned shuffle. Okay. Happy birthday to all my Aries out there. Right now, also, we are in your season. Thank you for these new beginnings, this beautiful spring weather that's finally coming through, and the opportunity to let our creative fires burn. Y'all rock. All right. So, Hermetic Tarot. Here we go. So, we're going to go with the foundation here. So, the foundation is the universe. The Five of Wands, the Eight of Cups, lots of moving forward, y'all, lots of moving forward, and the Ten of Swords. Whoa, so the foundation of this is definitely a huge release. We have the Ten of Swords, which is a sudden ending to things in the mental aspect, a sudden ending to things that we have thought were a certain way. This is cutting through the illusions and allowing us to see what things truly are. We have the Eight of Cups here, which is releasing something and letting go of something of the emotional realm that has been connected to our hearts for a very long time. It's time to walk away. We're moving into a place and a time and space where the time that we've known someone and the time that we've been with a job or the time that we've done things doesn't matter as much as the connection that we feel to that thing. So nowadays we're probably meeting people who we've known for 2 hours and have had conversations about things that are deeper and crazier than things we could talk about people we've known for 20 years. You know, we might feel more connected because the time thing is really starting to scoot out the way, is speeding up, and the connections that we're making now, the more we work on ourselves, are coming from the soul. They're not coming from man-made constructed time. So we have the Five of Wands as well here, which is petty battles. So pay attention to the battles that are going on around you, and pay attention to like what's happening here in your life. Like this could be battles with friends. It could be battles with feeling resistance in your job, in your work, in a lot of things. So pay attention to where you're feeling this resistance at, because this is pointing to where things need to be rebalanced, as we talked about before. Because with the universe riding up top here, the universe is telling us of our true power to create, our true power to love, our true power to be. And with this whole thing, we have to understand that like we block ourselves a lot, and we've been programmed to not understand our full power and things like that. So with the universe coming up, it shows us the true potential, the divine guidance, the soul, the spark of God that lives within us and allows us to be creators too. So we're moving all this stuff out of the way so we can create the relationships that are of divine connection. And this is romantically, this is physically, this is mentally, this is friendship, like platonic, familial. This is in all aspects of life. We're moving away things so that our life is just one big ball of divine connection. There's going to be nothing there that does not serve us anymore. Moving forward, what we're releasing is the Lovers. Ooh, nice card. The Four of Wands. This deck doesn't do upside down cards. The Tower. Ooh. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and say we might as well get prepared, because there's going to be a lot of shaking down of old thought processes. There's going to be a lot of breaking down with the Tower and the Ten of Swords, Eight of Cups, all these things coming up. This is going to be a big time for the way that you think about things and the way that you see things in this moment is going to be shifting a lot. So there's going to be a lot of sudden, unexpected things coming up that are going to force us to really look at and observe what our true thoughts are beyond what our comfortable traditional thoughts are, what our taught thoughts are and things. So just pay attention to that. But the Lovers brings balance. This is bringing harmony to two aspects of things, like to two aspects of yourself, to two aspects of the things around you. And the Lovers also, from time to time, it does represent actually meeting a romantic partner. So here in the release, we're kind of letting go of our ideas of what this should be like. We're kind of letting go of this like societal kind of built up idea, or this idea that we learned from like when we were children, that we came up with, of like what love should look like. And so there's like just a huge release on that, and not just love, but this also has to do with other aspects of life, because what we're building now, again, there is no more time for us to have superficial connections in our life. What we're building now are things that are going to, with the 10 of Pentacles, span beyond our lifetime. These are connections that are truly going to matter. This is soul level, like knowing each other for thousands of lifetimes kinds of connections that are coming in right now. So really, really just stay open to that and just continue to be grateful for where you are and do the work, and understand that there is light on the other side of all that seems negative that is breaking down. So just allow yourself to feel through these things. The last thing we need to do when these things are trying to change, I understand that sometimes like letting go of things can be painful, but the whole point of that pain is to feel through the pain, not repress it. We're supposed to feel through it. And as we feel through it, we're allowing it to become a part of our experience, and we're allowing ourselves to process it rather than repressing it and calling it strength. So let's release all of those things so that we can really bring in the things that are coming in for us, like with the that span beyond lifetimes, these universal, true, like infinite connections that we've had for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And what we're bringing in, oh Lord, y'all. The Death card, the Two of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, lots of fives, y'all. Difficulties. But these difficulties are necessary because they're showing us where we need to cleanse, where we need to clear. We've also got the Death card here as far as like what we're bringing in. So the Death card is, again, releasing all of the things that don't serve you anymore. And the way that the Death card comes in is that with the 10 of Swords down here and with the 8 of Cups, this is more so of our choice to move forward. With the 8 of Cups is more of our choice to move forward from something and having to consciously make a decision. But with the Death card comes sweeping out on its own. This is life coming in and clearing out in any which way that it can and that it so chooses, clearing out the things that don't serve us anymore. Because again, we're all here for a mission. And if we're not on our path, we're getting pushed on that path, because every person here is here for a mission, and every person or being or whatever you call, wherever you're from, is here to cleanse and to put a purpose here. And if you're not doing what you need to do, then you're messing with the whole collective. So you're getting booted, kicked, swept, and pushed with all the love. Please believe all the love onto the path that you need to be on. So that's what we're coming to here. The Death card is also just clearing out a lot of old emotions and taking away the things that don't serve us. Again, like I said, this is about relationships too. So this is sweeping out those things, that bag of bones you got in your closet that you call a friendship, or, whatever the hell. So we got the Two of Cups though too. So this is true divine connection. Two of Cups is all about that soul connection, meeting people initially that bring you that true connection and stuff like that, and connecting on an emotional level that's so deep that there are no words for it. The Five of Pentacles talks about loss in the physical realm. This is loss of the materials that we have and things like that. So letting go of stuff, because we have built a world and a mindset where our money comes first, where our things come first, and we neglect ourselves and our soul and who we are to pursue this illusion of finances and things like that, or this illusion of cars, clothes, money, whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying that stuff is not important. However, we have to work on our inner world. in order to actually live a happy life, in order to actually be purposeful here. But we do also live in a physical world, so it's important to have those things as well, to have your basic needs met. So just understand that there's going to be just a shift and a change in the way that you perceive those things and the way that you see those things. The Three of Wands here talks about a spark of inspiration and finally starting to see what direction you need to be moved in, and it's just glorious, y'all. So just really expect a lot of like high emotions and lots of clearing on this full moon. Like it's such a beautiful thing, because on the other side of this is the grandest of lights, I promise you. With the Seven of Cups here, on the other side of this is the potential and the possibilities of all that you could have in your life, of creating all these connections and all the things that you really, really want in life. This is endless, infinite possibility coming in for you. But the Lord of illusory success means that it's the possibility of these things exists right now. However, whether they come into fruition is all based on whether you step forward into your lessons and learn and progress in that way. So really allow yourself to, those things are there waiting for you, but they will not come to unless you take the steps that you need to and allow yourself to process the things that are trying to clear out of your life at the moment. Because at the end of the day, we still got free will, y'all. So let's see, we got the Native Heart Oracle here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull a card here for just some general guiding energy to help us to transition easily and to help us to feel peaceful as we possibly can through these clearing, cleansing, also what some people might call rough times, but it's not good nor bad. These are just lessons and things that are happening in life. That's just how it is. It cannot be judged as negative or positive, because it is serving a purpose towards something that allows you to become a better version of yourself. And so we're going to go ahead and pull this one here. Primal Flower Essence. Check out that mandala. It's a good mandala to meditate on too. So screenshot that mug and let me get a real still picture. All right, screenshot that mug if you'd like to. Meditate on it. And we're going for number 6 here. So, let me get to the page. I can't find it. Okay, here we go. The next step, real world application, service to others. This healing mandala is drawing your awareness to the new level of service you are opening to. Your higher self sees that you are ready to flourish. Your soul recognizes the effort you have given to growing, learning, and the great journey that you are undertaking inward. You have reached the pinnacle and are now ready to step further into service and share the wisdom you have gathered across lifetimes. Your primal flower is the core of your being that speaks of all that you are from the earliest stages of evolution until now. The wisdom we speak of here is that of experience rather than book learning. Be the beautiful flower that you are, full of seeds of wisdom, and the gentle winds will blow your wisdom and nourishment, both awaiting and unsuspecting souls, so that they too may awaken the flower that lies within their hearts. All right, soul fam, so there you have it. We are going to have a very powerful release here with this full moon. Yes, it is going to be difficult. However, what comes next in like this period of time where the next new moon comes in here with Taurus, we are going to have such an amazing, beautiful, clear space for the amount of like possibilities and potential and loving, beautiful things to come in for us. It's going to be amazing. So just go ahead and power through, let yourself release. If I were y'all, I would set up like a little ritual, write down some things. It makes it easier to transition when you can give some specifics that you're releasing, but it also allows us to kind of pay attention to the things that we're processing out. But there are going to be some things that come up and come out that are very subconsciously rooted that let release as well. So I'm going to go ahead and post a meditation to help aid you all in your transitioning process here, in your releasing process on this Libra full moon. But until next time, everybody, I'm so grateful for you being here. I hope to see y'all very, very soon. And I'll see you all with the meditation and then with the new moon and then onward and onward from that. So until next time, y'all, peace.